The rarefied world of luxury watches is dominated by famous brands. So what can an independent watchmaker like Francois-Paul Journe do to tempt collectors to part with up to $100,000 for one of his timepieces? In 1996, the 39-year-old French watchmaker arrived in Geneva with talent as big as the Alps and has since created a range of watches that mark him as one of the world's finest watchmakers. The epicenter of Journe's operation is his atelier in central Geneva, where he and a small team of watchmakers produce just a few hundred watches a year. Journe's way of working is to tease out innovations from the great inventions of watchmaking's past. This year, he turned his attention to the crucial component of a watch's movement, the escapement, and the issue of lubrication.
Why did I decide to call it the chronometer optimum?
J'avais dans l'idée de faire une montre de précision qui serait la montre la.
Because on the day I decided to make this watch, I wanted to create the most accurate watch on the market, with the components and materials that we have today.
Le chronomètre optimum, c'est que le jour où j'ai.
There are 3 ingredients needed to make this watch.
J'avais dans l'idée de faire une montre de précision qui serait la montre.
And the first one is something to make the driving force of the movement stable.
La montre la plus précise qui ait jamais existé jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Et pour avoir la stabilité de la force au départ, j'ai mis, comme dans le chronomètre souverain, une vieille recette qui est le 2 barillet avec 2 ressorts en part.
The first thing is like something from an old recipe, and that is the 2 barrels.
C'est la première chose, c'est le double barillet. Deuxième chose, c'est le remontoir d'égalité. Le remontoir d'égalité va
The second thing is the constant force remontoir, which winds the mainspring every second.
Pourquoi? Parce que cet échappement va permettre à la montre de fonctionner de manière très
The third thing is a special escapement. Special because it functions without lubrication.
Journe's other new release is a perpetual calendar, a watch that accurately changes the date no matter how many days in the month, and also adds an extra date, February, during leap years. Journe may have more gray hairs today than he did in 1996, but they are not all caused by sweating over his innovations. Unlike most independent watchmakers, Journe is a successful entrepreneur. The small output of his atelier supports 8 boutiques and a 9th on the way in LA. This is Michael Clarizzo for the Wall Street Journal in Geneva.